Hey folks, it's Michael from michaeljohnadams.com, and now we're going to be looking at a couple different things you can start doing with your right hand so that you can start playing songs. Now I want to look at Iron Maiden's The Trooper, but before we do that, there's a couple things that I want to check out with your right hand first. We're going to look at going between 2 fingers and 3 fingers and back to 2 fingers, which is really important. And then we're also going to talk about sort of planning ahead what you're going to be doing with your right hand, which is something you do with your left hand anyways. When you're learning a song, you're probably playing it the same way every time with your left hand, which is what you should be doing, but you should also start doing it with your right hand. But before we check those out, here's a few things that we're not going to look at yet, just so you sort of get an idea of where we're going with the technique. We're not going to look at moving across strings with the 3-finger thing. Not yet, at least. This is what I mean. That kind of stuff. We're not also going to look at playing individual notes. That kind of stuff. We're also not going to look at playing things in 4 and 2, because that's really tricky with 3 fingers. Or 2. We're also not going to look at raking yet. Yeah, there's a lot of things we're not looking at yet, because it's a really complicated technique, and it helps to sort of break it down and learn it in pieces, which is why we're just going to look at going between 2 fingers and 3 fingers for now. Here's a couple pretty well, they're very boring sounding, but this is just to show you what I mean by going between 2 fingers and 3 fingers. Check this out. Now, this scale here, I'm playing it with 2 fingers, and then the gallop here, this is with 3 fingers. Let me jump up there so I can show you what I mean. So the scale with 2 fingers, and the gallop with 3 fingers. This will get you ready to play Iron Maiden songs. Alright, now here's a similar exercise. Same idea. Let me show it to you. Jump up there so you can see what's happening. Now, if you notice, the scale ends up here. This is what is this? This is A on your D string, but the gallop starts down here on D on your A string, which can be a bit tricky at first. But yeah, something to work on in preparation for the Trooper. Simple stuff, really boring sounding. I don't actually expect you to play those examples. That's kind of just to show you what I mean. And one last thing I probably should have mentioned in my first video is, with the right hand technique, I keep my fingernails really short. Otherwise, with my middle finger, I find that I get like a clunking sound, like my fingernail actually picks the string. So if you're trying to play in things grouped in 2 and 4, no matter what you do, it's still going to sound like you're playing in 3, because you'll hear like a... Of course, it'll be like a fingernail pick. I think you get what I mean. But yeah, that's it for this lesson. Next lesson, we'll start looking at the Trooper. Alright, you got any questions, just go to my blog, michaeljohnadams.com/blog, and I will see you folks there.